Yeah, it looks like this time my stream actually showed up on the desktop version, YouTube Studio and everything. So hello, this is Sinister Game being here with a new stream. In this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week. For the week 2, basically, by the way. From very early Thursday in Grand Theft Auto Online. See, for those that don't know for some reason, or didn't remember, whatever, like, this is technically a continuation from the last week's. So in a sense, this could be a much shorter stream than what I usually do for event streams, depending on like how everything goes and everything. Albeit, as I did put in a title for the week 6 editions, I did decide to not put editions for last week, because it would have been kind of misleading, because I'm not a Plus member. But yeah, last event, really the huge thing about last event was the early release of the Gallivanter Warden for the Plus subscription. Now it's like the week 2, the like 2-week event thing. It's past the 1-week early access now. Now it's available for all players. And like I said last time, Ruffy 1322 has not came out with straight up performance for the vehicle yet, so I cannot really like say like how that would be. However, I did go over some estimations what I was maybe like thinking it could maybe be at like last time. I think basically I said it could basically be top 10, but obviously I didn't really stick being with HSW for the most part, obviously. Like, if anything, I felt like it could be around like Power STD at like best. But now I think, wow, there hasn't been a dedicated testing video from Roughly 1322. I think he has shared a little more insight on it. I think since I did the last stream for my channel. And it's, yeah, definitely not sound like it's at the top of like SCV. Maybe it somehow performs worse than the Power STD for the best of the Gallivanter vehicles. At least before the Gallivanter Warden came out, at least. But I don't know, if Ruffy 1322 is kind of gives some insight on. I'm not really seeing it being an S tier SCV, which I kind of could have maybe saw, even if it was in like the lower S tier. To me now, it might sound like it might be more of like a B tier SCV if I were to take a guess. So maybe the Baller SCD is still the best performing Gallivanter vehicle once that performance value ends up coming out. But yeah, I don't have 100% information what to go through for performance, obviously, on the Gallivanter Warden. Since you have to a dedicated testing video for it, and I can't give the most exact information. So for the most part, I'll basically just be customizing the vehicle. Alright, but yeah, going to the main menu here, though. And yeah, sorry, my fuck-ass body for Tyrani's being a fuck-ass prick, of course, right now, so... Yeah, if any complications going on right now, that's basically why. If I, like, don't say things for small moments and stuff. So yeah, a lot of money stuff, by the way, does continue for the second week as well from the first week, including the free mode challenges and events. I'm pretty sure this was for the previous week as well. This This was, yes, definitely for the previous week as well. And as a reminder, the free mode challenges and events, I believe you need 6+ players for those to even spawn. Yes, so. Yeah, you definitely do need 6+ players for these to even spawn in the first place. Because 3 to 5 players is where the business battles exclusively spawn, I'm pretty sure. And also, if you're in like a minimal lobby of like 6 players, every single player is going to need to be like outside of like an apartment in that case. Keep in mind. But yes, so. Yeah, say you are in a minimal like player lobby, like the bare minimum for like a free mode like challenge event. If for some reason you do have 6 players in like a lobby and no more than that, like every single player would need in that case to be like outside of like an apartment or like some kind of building where they're not in like basically actively in the like outside world in the lobby or something. But I won over these for the most part last week, so I don't know if I mentioned much here. But yeah, criminal damage to free mode event I think is basically the best one because I believe criminal damage pays 35k normally, so on 4 times it's effectively $140,000. And with criminal damage, you can really just go to Force and Kudo where like aircrafts and stuff will spawn. And also you can use like a CO vehicle like every couple minutes. Being something like the Savage Attack Helicopter, ideally, if that would end up working out much in the lobby. I feel it's a niche strategy nobody really uses that often, so like if you know to do that, you'll probably be pretty fine, I imagine. But yeah. So you could probably even use something like I know the explosive cannons got nerfed on the other ones, but yeah, like the Hydra Laser, F-160 Raj, you could definitely use some of those as well at Fort Senkudo. And it would be pretty much just as effective, or almost just as effective. Hunt the Beast can also be alright. There is strategies to win as the Beast, or I don't know. I feel more of the strategies is more like winning as like something that's not the Beast, since if they're just in like a car anyways or something, you can just blow them up. And I think if the Beast's like in a vehicle, they just blow up, like get killed just as easily as like a regular player. If you can like say lock onto them or something. Like say it or not on foot. And even if they are on foot, you can use like a stealth helicopter to try to chop them up. And yeah, like the air checkpoints is another like free mode event thing I think I recommended. And challenges I find are the best ones to do for challenges are the ones that like certain vehicles have like a huge advantage in basically. Yes, though. I find for free mode challenges compared to events. Yeah, challenges compared to the events, though, yeah. I find the ones where certain vehicles are better than other vehicles are the better ones to do for those. So, like, the longest jump in land vehicle ones, for example, you would want to use, like, rocket boosted vehicles. Near misses or something where I think you have to go, like, close to cars and, like, try not to get hit, like, something like a bike. Like Oppressor Mark 1, for example, could work well if you use it right and don't obviously abuse a boost all throughout. Unless there's a way that would work well for that, of course. Stuff like that was basically the advice I gave last time for the free mode challenges and events. But yeah, last time probably... Yes, last time. So last time I think I did a better run through of it, of course, since obviously, like, it was available for week 1 and week 2, kind of like the 2-part Brand Brown Wars event. So I talked about it better in the last stream, arguably. Like, aside for the fuck-ass fact, this fuck-ass body for Sakurni is just being a fuck-ass prick anymore. Now, technically, one of the money things that actually did change, there was, like, one to, like, two, like, couple things. And even one, I think, was actually already passed since I'm actually streaming this on the 24th for just the 21st of 23rd for the 5 times money on the VIP, like, work, basically. Which I hella talked about that last stream for sure. But I think the only, like, permanent, like, money thing for the second part of the event that actually changed is, yeah, here with the weekly challenge. Like a time where if you win free races, you get the Princess Racing Track suit and GTA money $250,000. And obviously, the races you want to try to do would obviously be the ones on like money opportunity would be the best ones ideally to do. So right now, I think just like 4 times hot ring, you probably want to try to do that. And of course, obviously, multiple like 30-player like hot ring race lobbies could be hectic as fuck. So you obviously want to maybe try to do like one-on-one. If you have like a friend who could really just like swap wins with like a friend, I'm sure, and get that super easily. Like effectively, that would be like 6 races if you're helping like a friend or something. But otherwise, just maybe do one-on-ones with like randoms or something. If you care for that, really, like honestly, I don't. Like me, I'm not really a clothing person. I don't really care to do that. However, there is a 2.5 times amount compared to your normal weekly challenge. I think was the same case as last week's as well. So instead of 100,000, you get $250,000 because of the 2.5 times effectively on the weekly challenge. But again, I think that's the most really that changed for like money opportunities stuff at all for week 2. Besides for the temporary like 5 times money VIP work for only like 3 days of the second week. That ironically, I'm actually streaming like the day after because literally actually on Sunday I was like, oh shoot, I just remembered there's that event, that temporary one, since they don't usually do that kind of thing after all, but like, yeah. So I almost wanted to like stream like late Sunday instead of like early Monday, but I just decided to stream early Monday. I wasn't really planning on playing the VIP work anyways, to be honest. Even if I kinda was interested. And yeah, aside for the other 2 things on the main menu itself, there's earn free rewards, get $2 million and more, yeah. Connecting the Twitch and Rockstar Games accounts, and then you watch the participating streams, which lets you earn up to $2 million. I might have heard you have to watch like 20 hours of streams though, if I remember right, from like week 1, I forget. I covered that more last stream, obviously, when I said that though, but yeah. There actually might low-key be a lot of streaming you might have to watch to even get the 2 million now. But I mean, you literally just watch streams for 2 million. That's some of the easiest millions of dollars you can get in the game, arguably. If you fulfill all that criteria. As for the outfits, I don't really necessarily think those are new outfits. I could be wrong now. They might have given it out during like a previous Sprung versus Ecola event. They've done one of those in the past before. I forget if those have been out with that or not. Either way, it's just clothing, it's mostly cosmetic on average, who's real gonna be using not that frequent or any clothing stuff. And yeah, then for what's new, I don't really know, ironically, contrary to the name, if it's gonna be real much of anything that's actually new here, especially being a continuation of like a 2-part event. Yeah, it says the next 2 weeks. I assume this one was already here. I know this one definitely was just being plus event and being introduced last week. Early access to plus. Alright, yeah, there's still nothing here, apparently. Basically. Gotta miss the early days of the game where they actually put like everything in there and it just suddenly stopped. Probably because people weren't like actually getting to the game or something that much when they did that. I don't know. That's the only realistic reason I could see for not doing that anymore. Or just being fucking lazy. Yeah, storm mode and Vionia, what are we doing here? Cause pretty much it's the quickest way in town hall, basically. Basically. Not gonna wait forever for like the game to get in a public lobby the first time. It usually takes a while in the first time for a public lobby, I think. Plus I'm not interested in playing with other players, obviously, really.
Is it a red flag that I watch you sleep? I don't know.
So it's something different, but very hot still. Not something with daddy to it. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, I swear I've given it before and I've had it before, though, so I guess it pops up with that regardless of if you owned it already or not. For the Equalex Sprunk hiring Saber Livery. Hiring Saber Livery, yes. I wonder if somebody kind of be on my way here right now, no. For a fast travel kind.
What do you need, Daddy?
Probably guaranteed one. I'm guessing for that. One of the panel one is guaranteed, I'm for sure.
Leave it with me, Daddy.
Ooh, double on the panel. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, Rachel, what's up? Totally nailed that audition. Oh, I made a lot of folks money. Traffic was backed up for miles.
So yeah, much of the stuff that does change, by the way, for week 2 will be more the stuff I go over earlier on, by the way, compared to later on. Like time travel stuff, like dealerships. Besides for any of that, anything I basically already mentioned. And even for like discount stuff, I think I actually had time to cover that even in the last week for the week 2 discounts. So I actually did cover those way living, so I'm not going to be talking about those on the stream. So there might not be too much new to go over, just simply so I can go over to get out into Warden quicker and stuff. Because if I already covered it in the week 1, even if it was for week 2, there's not necessarily a need to cover it again if I don't want to. I can just refer people to the previous stream. looks like the regular time trial. Going to go on a GT series videos can be posed because that one is by the week rather than by the day. So it should be on a series videos can be posed. Alright, yeah, so regular time trial for the week 2 compared to the first week's, which was end to end. This particular one it says Fort Zancudo, which, yeah, just like the name, it is obviously starting over at Fort Zancudo, like right before it, basically, or like literally in front of it. And I think it goes, if I remember right, it actually goes by where the Junk Energy skydives basically is right here. So I think it goes Fort Zancudo, basically the Vinewood Hills over here, and like, kind of this top area about like the sign and stuff basically. Which arguably some of the middle parts of the city map I think are basically going to be like some of your criticism lap time sections in the game, so you probably will very much want a lap time option like in most cases, rather than like a top speed option, considering top speed is basically just a lot more niche. And like usual, obviously I'm going to recommend using your best motorcycles, or if not motorcycles for some reason, your sports or supercars, because those are basically the Class A vehicles or whatever for HSW, which basically means they're basically the best couple of land race classes to use in the game, and basically also the most popular ones for racing. So very much this should most likely be a lap time trial. This is arguably not some of the most time heavy sections of the game. And yeah, I think there was a brief period of time at the like, kind of start of Sanders Mercenaries for like a small portion of the Drippy even where like these actually did change every single day at like a small moment of the game, so I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. Eventually kind of went back to Sanders Mercenaries, also kind of the last DLC to really change much of touch on like mechanically or whatever. So I want to say nowadays you can basically do it once a day for 50k. I want to say for like up to like 50k for like 7 times like a week or something. I think it's kind of how it kind of works nowadays for a regular time trial. Because of some of the like stuff that went on during that update. And then more for the daily ones. Obviously, yeah, for regular time trial, I do like actual vehicle advice and use like so many different vehicles on the regular time trials compared to all the others. But more for the daily ones here, kind of for now at least. Our Bandito is Davis Kortz, excuse me. With a 1 minute 32-second power time, aka 92-second power time. Yeah, as RC Bandito, the name implies, can use one single vehicle of RC Bandito. You're not allowed to use a big tank or anything that came out like a year later for like another smaller RC vehicle. Or I didn't mean to say smaller, I meant like more of a similarly small RC vehicle, basically. And for a Vapor Weight Tank, it's probably the next, like, closest thing to an RC Bandito, basically. But you're only able to use RC Bandito, does imply. So it's more about how you do turns, corners, basically. Or if you, like, watch, like, a video guide, basically the advice. And if you mess up turns, corners, you can always do the respawn mechanic, of course, which will most likely have to at least once, I'm guessing, if you aren't that good at it for whatever reason. Where you would have to hold triangle, Y, and Xbox. whatever key it is on PC, it allows you to respawn if you have to. Like, try to turn spawners again and again. And yeah, if you can't get it eventually yourself like that, then obviously look up a video guide. But even if you look up a video guide, you might also still have to just like use the respawn mechanic if you mess up anyways. I kind of just recommend learning it more naturally yourself, personally. Now, particularly for Davis Kortz, I will say it's probably like the one time you could really get away with the jump boost, at least on the original 10 tracks. I haven't played like all 5 of the newest ones. I have not actually played all 5 of the newest ones that came out actually in Sanders Mercenaries DLC, because I think it upped it from like 10-15 for Super India time trials in particular for like maps. But at least of the original 10 maps, it's the only one where I found a jump boost to actually be practical, like, one time at all, basically. So I think there's a moment where you have to go, like, here to here. The jump boost in that one case can actually be kind of useful, but you don't really have to use it either. It's just the part where you actually can kind of get away with using it, really, for once, is my point, basically. But one extra small little thing of advice I could think of for this particular time trial for our spin data, I mean. I know weekly HSW time trial, I think it's our penultimate time trial for HSW time trials, So I think it's the second to last today. It's just every time trials with work, it's the most difficult one, basically. Just basically. So that means after this event, I think I only have one more event. I haven't used the Fireball ESP before I can get onto a new vehicle, which, unless like the drippy one comes out, I only really have like one single option I haven't used before. aka like the newest release, basically currently. But yeah, according to T-Series videos getting posted, is Pacific Bluffs of Gordo. So yeah, this time trial, there's a good bit of shortcutting you can basically do at the beginning, obviously, instead of like going like the actual roads. You can basically go off-road for a good bit, and it probably cuts a good amount of time off at the beginning. Or like it's more efficient doing it that way, like going off-road is basically more efficient in the early part of the time trial, HSW time trial here. After that, there's this little like side area here that kind of gets you more towards this road and stuff. So having to go through like the toll gate and stuff, I assume probably it's a little tad of a time saved. After that, I think it goes cheap chest route for like a while without really needing to do any shortcutting. And I think once you get to like around the casino, I think you can basically maybe start to do some. Yes. When getting around the casino, I think you can probably do some more like shortcutting, basically. Where like around this part with like this grass section here, you can basically just get the vehicle past the grass section over to the other vehicle, like over. I mean over to the other road here. Sorry, I'm not tongue twisted as fuck. This fuck has body, but it's not anymore. Yeah. So you can try to like basically drive from this road to like this road, maybe not touch the grass as much, or touch it in a certain way where it doesn't like slow you down or something. Ideally, might save you time versus going this road. Maybe like hereish kind of too or something. But at least once you do that, I feel on the straight, it's efficient enough. Depending on like how you tackle it or whatever. Is it more proper to go this road? You might be able to more get away with going this one, but like there might be too much traffic there. I'm not actually too sure. I think I actually do usually take this road personally, just simply not have to deal with traffic, obviously, the other way around. Yeah, after that, I think the shortcut might be pretty much done, or the shortcut one then be very minimal after that, though. As far as I know, at least. Yeah, when you get to like the cheapest wheat farm area, it's basically where you want to be turning. Cause I think if you stay on the highway, I think there's like barriers and stuff basically that get in the way. I'll be looking at the map here, you might even be able to do something like past like the cheapest wheat farm, there's like a bit of road here. I've never really tried it, I don't really know that like works that well, honestly. I just really take the main road for the most part over here. And yeah, pretty much from there it's all straightforward though. Route extra little tad left basically. Trying to get the map to say like a certain thing basically when I over. So try to do a little more guidance here, albeit pretty much I said everything I think. Alright, yeah, there it goes. But yeah, basically it goes pretty much like right by the old Gordo Lighthouse. It's obviously the end point probably for the just W time travel for the week. Yeah, for HSW vehicles, it's 30 of them total. Albeit technically, I think you only use 29 out of 30 since what my sickness is fully blacklisted on like HSW time travels ever since Criminal Enterprises DLC, the first DLC that released with the 9th-gen version, console versions, out. But there was an actual brief period of time you could actually use with my sickness, which thankfully I did back in the day. I found it weird that blacklisted that one though, since you can always like not even use the weapon, even like when even when it was like usable for every period of time, you couldn't even like use the weapon in like the first place or something. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'll go over to vehicle list when I get over to the LS car meet basically, because that's where that like laptop is, where I can basically show that real easily in game. But yeah, I think I basically covered everything that I wanted to cover basically, for now at least on the HSW time trial. Well, as a matter of fact, it is platform exclusive, so you will only get access to it if you're on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S. Yes, Xbox Series X/S or PC Enhanced. You will not have access to that if you're on legacy platforms. Basically. Where is this other one at? Am I kind of blind right now, or have I just not seen it yet? I don't know. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, I just didn't see it the greatest. Cause like I'll just Marble Hill, like Vineyard, with all these small grayish roads. I think kinda got distracting or something. But yeah. For today and Monday, by the way, which applied for our speed data as well. Like I kind of said earlier, that one was a daily one. That's why I have it over for all the information and everything. But yeah, for day and Monday this time around for Junkie Energy time trial, It is Marlowe Vineyards, like I basically suggested earlier. With a 2-minute 10-second power time, which I think basically is 130 seconds. You're transferring in entire seconds. I think that's 130 seconds you get for this particular one. I may have done this one like one time or something, but I wouldn't really exactly know the advice on this particular one, so obviously I'll just go over like general advice, basically like what I was data, basically. So yeah, as long as you don't fall off the bicycle, go where you need to go, maximize on curves boost, so as long as you do like those couple things, I feel you'll usually be pretty good to go. I find that later sets of time trials, they just sub junk energy are like very easy compared to like regular speed data for sure though. So as long as you don't fall off, go where you need to go, maximize on curves boost, there should be like no problem cleaning it. And yeah, you have to use the 2023 bicycles, ones that came out, so there's Mercenaries DLC ones that have the like curse boost probably, which technically there's 2 of those. Obviously, if most people will be using the junk energy inductor, since it is a junk energy control after all, instead of about that particular one. But I'm pretty sure as far as I'm aware, if you do bring your own regular non-livery inductor, you can use that as well, but they basically have the same exact stats, just a cosmetic difference, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. You were just not allowed to use the 2013 bicycles, the ones like the BMX or like the race bikes, all that kind of stuff. So again, as long as you don't fall off, go ahead and go maximize on curve speeds. There should be pretty much no problem doing that, I would definitely basically say. If not, obviously, then I would look up the video guide, basically. Like I said, just go far speed data touch over like some secondary advice. Finally, the premium race for the week here is for the supercar class. I forget if the supercar class is the same class as like last week's or not, or if it was like motorcycles or something. I forget. But in case the class is different, I will go over the vehicle lists, like some of the best vehicles to use. I mean, basically. But yes, so. So I'll probably go over HSW ones first, yes, and so obviously if you're on newer platforms, that's basically what you should be using. So to not try to pick favorites as much, I am going to go in release order, I think, for the HSW options, of the like 6 of those currently, I believe, right now. Albeit there is one in the future for the trip feed as well. Like in the latest update right now, even. But yeah. So at launch, the mansion version of the game, there was 2 supercar ones that came out technically. I guess I'll go over to Weaponized Ignis first, I suppose. Yeah, the Weaponized Ignis, so that one, I think nowadays is 2nd place for a lap time out of the 6 currently. And we'll have to see, of course, when the Horus HSW ends up coming out. And since I don't care to make a leak video because of the GTA 6, we have the code in a fucking ass box debacle and bull, and also being like the last update before the next one finally comes out, of course, after like 13 fucking ass years. Fucking, I don't really care to make a video or anything. But anyways, yeah, the weaponized Ignis I think is second place all time right now for HSW options and basically overall if you're on newer platforms. And then yeah, for top speed, trying to remember of course right now. That new one that came out in this update, I think was #1 top speed now, right? I think so, because I think before that was actually the one that came out last update, actually. And then the NTMT is like the third one. Alright, so... And then I think Devastate A is actually above the weaponized Ignis saving. So I think it's actually 5th place out of the 6 HSWs right now for our class for top speed. So yeah, I think 2nd place all time, 5th place top speed for sure on the weaponized Ignis HSW. We had the other launch day one for the newer versions of the game, of course, that have the HSW vehicles at all, of course, was the second 2 HSW. For lap time. I want to say second 2 might be like 3rd place even for lap time, like basically right below the weaponized Ignis. So yeah, the NTMT is the worst one for lap time. I think it was said the new one that came out in this update so far for Volcano GT, I think was 4th place when that came out. And then... well, I think like Devastate would be like the 5th place lap time then. Sounds like it, sounds like it. So I think second 2 is 3rd place for lap time and also 6th place for top speed, the worst one for top speed since it's an electric vehicle. Because electric vehicles on average do suffer on the top speed department because you have the like acceleration, which is instant 0 to 60, how quick something gets the top speed, but then said top speed suffers obviously for balance reasons or something basically. Basically. Alright, and then the Devastate 8 HSW. Technically, it didn't come out in a DLC. It kind of was in like the launch timing, but I think it also came out in drip feed, I think it was in fact when like Plus subscription first came out, which I think was like a couple weeks or something after the game initially came out on the newer platforms or something. I could be wrong if I'm remembering right. I'm trying to know if I'm remembering per se or not, but I don't really care if I am or not. So again, I think I said the new one was like 4th place for lap time. So yeah, I think the Devastate 8 is 5th place lap time, and while it's also like... yeah, I think 5th place lap time and also like 4th place top speed basically for the Devastate HSW for sure. Alright, and then now getting to the DLC ones basically. With the NTMT HSW, I think, being the first of those that actually came out in proper DLCs. That was released in the last of Santos Drug Wars DLC back in like winter 2022. It's actually the worst one from that time at 6th place. I assume even with the worst like HSW coming out, it would probably end up being the worst one at like a 7th place for lap time. Like, just including HSW cars, not even including like non-HSW things at all, basically. I mean, even if you do include like non-HSW stuff, actually, like it's in like the 20s or something, low as fuck for lap time emergency and THSW. And then yeah, top speed. Yeah, the top speed of NTMT was pretty much number one, I think, until like the last couple of releases. So I think it's nowadays third place even on top speed. So literally, it's pretty much the worst one to use, I would say, of all the ones, unfortunately, for NTMT. Just probably don't use that one, basically. It used to have a niche, like being the number one top speed for the supercar HSWs, but it doesn't even have that anymore, unfortunately. And then, yeah, previous update, the Rapid FNJ Mark V came out. That's the number one lap time. And it should also be number two top speed, I believe. I think only got that from about the latest one that came out. GT, whatever. So yeah, the last one, GT, whatever, is, I believe I already said, basically fourth place on time, and also the first place top speed. So there should be all the numbers for the HSW options up to 6 of those. Again, there is one more to defeat the Horus HSW, but it's not out yet, so it's not really relevant right now. And because it's not out right now, there's no real visual performance for that one. So pretty much, most cases you're going to want to be using the Rapid FNJ Mark V from previous Save House and Hills DLC, basically for HSW. If it's top speed, like pure top speed, a new Villanova GT. Like honestly, aside from those two, you don't really need any of the other ones. You can still use the weapon sickness, I'm sure, from like launch pretty fine. If you wanted to. For example, if you wanted to like use an older one. I don't know. I probably wouldn't bother with the other half of them though. The other half of them aren't necessarily as good. I don't know, you maybe could kind of use the second two, given top speed's a lot more niche in like racing. I don't really think you would really need to use the second two. And probably PhD will just not to. I think on average, acceleration is more useful in like free mode for like, you know, like gunfights super quick. Like, yeah, if you hit something, you can get back up to speed pretty easily with acceleration, but ideally, you don't want to be hitting like anything like the spin out or anything in a race, basically. It's basically though. Yeah, that's vehicle advice for the newer platforms, at least for premium race. For legacy platforms, however, though. Yeah, the non-HSW version of the Rapid FNJ Mark V, I think it's pretty good, even for like non-HSW. For like an A tier car. Otherwise, I think like the Projan Emirates, Turismo Magio, are also some pretty good options for non-HSW. And there's also actually Benefactor Krieger as well for A tier. The S tier naturally only has like HSW stuff as you probably expect in a class like Supercar class, especially. And on the spreadsheet, you will maybe notice for some reason there is the regular weaponized ignis, but that's actually only on the 9th-gen version, including the non-HSW and the regular HSW weaponized ignis, in particular for that vehicle. So yeah, basically I mentioned all the A-tier options, so you should be using legacy platforms. So. Now what is odd time, what is top speed? Odd time is turn corners that you'll mostly be gaining off, so you see like lots of areas in the game, and for lap time, that's why lap time's a lot more relevant for racing. Top speed, on the other hand, is like a lot more niche between their highways, airport runways, and airstrips. Technically includes the winter 2024 one and Tonga Hills. Rockstar created races are pretty much all older races, so I don't really think that would even appear in any sort of race that would even be featured for like the premium race. Otherwise, Grand Snow Desert on it. And then Grapeseed for the launch there strips. See, not a lot of like straight up top speed areas, obviously, so you pretty much expect basically looking at the map and with what I've explained basically. So top speed therefore is a lot more niche. There might be those niche applications you might be wanting to use something like the Volino GT instead, like the Bappa J5 HSW for example. And how do you know what the race score is going to be if I'm not going for actual race scores? As you can see in like the middle UI, like for the like bottom right, like black rectangle with a square for start job, which is X on Xbox or whatever the key it is on PC, allows you to start it that way. You also physically go to like Michael's 4-car like garage area from like single player. I believe that's where the pink chrono over there is located. You can also do like right on D-pad. And you can even do like on call, not the phone. Those are at least 3 options I can think of. Like all the options basically for joining the premium race. And yeah, by the way, contrary to the image of the premium race, which features hot ring race, I assume that was a promotional like image back from like 2018 or something, but I think pretty much on average you really only get Rockstar Credit City courses for like the premium races, basically the. But anyways, there's different ways that I told for joining. But that will all take you into the lobby screen. And then from the lobby screen, you can do the same exact button for the Square X and Xbox, whatever key and PC that shows you the map of the race. That yes, will show you the map of the race as well. And if for some reason you're not an actual lobby screen, so you did like on call for the phone or something, I think you can also do the map when you choose the vehicle as well. That'll also be the last opportunity to even look at the map for the race beforehand, basically. So you can analyze for lap time top speed, turns corners pretty straight. It's kind of if I could choose what vehicle you should be looking to use. I think that basically covers the premium race at this point. Yeah, I don't really show the actual race courses for her, so yeah, everyone just need to look at the map and then basically go over and set basically, so, you still have one more of these to do for the vehicle tier 4, and that's the last thing you have to do for that tier 4 rating if you wanted to. But I don't really care to do that. I'm just going to stream.
Hey, you're supposed to call me. No doubt.
Plus promotion garbage, of course. Of course. I think still seem to be working fine. Okay, good. We also tore us for day Monday to start around. I hopefully have an next time it's Wednesday because I'm actually recording this video on Monday here. Like I said, I'm pretty much at the beginning of the stream. I'm kind of tired right now, in a sense. But yeah, deer. I pretty much find deer is like the most crazy wilderness areas, basically like Vinewood Hills. Yeah, the Vinewood Hills areas. Shadow Mountain State Wilderness, Mount Chiliad, like other mountain areas like Mount Gordo, etc., etc., etc. I think you can basically say the same locations for Mountain Lion as well. Albeit they might not really appear too frequent around like the Vinewood Hills in particular. Those ones you might want to go more to like the Shadow Mountain State Wilderness, Mount Chiliad, Mount Gordo kind of areas for the Mountain Lion. So it might just be a little tad different than deer. And then hens, I think you really find those in like the farmland areas with rapeseed or something, basically. Basically. So into the casino then. Go over to the podium vehicle.
Lucky escape.
Come check out the new vehicle on the podium. You can win it with just a spin on the lucky wheel.
3600 XL or 4500 XL actually. It's a Class A, it's not Albany, it's a Convita Cavalcade XL. Or is this the Landstalker XL? Actually, maybe the Landstalker XL. I think this. Oh, it says Granger on it, okay. So this is a Granger 3600 like LX or something version from like contract deal. So you deal like a Monitech Granger
The hottest fashions are available now at the casino store.
I'm pretty 100% that's what that is.
Welcome.
But I'll be looking at GT2 series first just to be sure.
Good luck.
Apparently, with a 1,000 visit chip bonus and a 1,714,000 9 chips. Cool. One wheel stream a week, basically. Got 48-minute discount, basically. Of course it was 17 first. I would have been actually pretty happy if it was like Legend Motorsport, because that's where the vehicle's actually at, basically, for a website. You know, I actually would have happily took that, but it was Legend Motorsport. Unfortunately, it ended up being the 17 first. They all caught the rules discount vouchers. Yeah, these are honestly kind of meme-worthy or kind of funny, honestly, for discount vouchers, because you literally have to have the money, like, right as you get it, basically. It doesn't give you, like, a whole, like, event week or something, unfortunately. So it'll literally only last, like, 48 minutes in real life time. Game time, it would have been quicker, to be fair, it would have been funny if it was that way, actually, instead. But, yeah. I don't really have anything on that website to buy, basically, because apparently the new vehicle's on Legend Motorsport, so...
The service sucks.
I mean, maybe I could. Maybe I could, to be fair. Especially if I had, like, the other two mansions, and, like, maybe it could have been useful or something, but... Yeah. I'm not a fan of discounts, it's only lasts, like, 48 minutes, you have to already have the money ahead of time. Instead of just being able to activate it whenever you want somehow or something. Like obviously this is for like Red Online, if it's a full benefit section, but I think Red Online's done a lot better if I remember right, like benefit stuff in there, but yeah. Whatever though. Whatever though. It is in fact the Gringer 3600LX, or whatever the classic Gringer 3600LX. Southern Sanctuary, I think it's on for that particular one. Might be luxury, or if not, like something like 4-door or something. You know, it's more than 4 seats in the vehicle, I believe. But still, might just be thrown into that section, meaning like high seating available. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure it's luxury vehicle or something. Or there used to be only like 9, there might be a couple extras in there. Since they brought back some vehicles, not vehicle websites, I mean. See, the classic Gringer for 600LX, with a trade price, I believe it does have a trade price. It is $1,500,000 with a trade price. Again, I'm pretty sure there is a trade price. Now, I think the trade prices can kind of vary on the contract DLC vehicles. It's not a DLC like say Casino Eyes, or the trade prices are pretty much all universal. It doesn't kind of task, just choose a different vehicle or something to do it for. The Gringer for 600LX, yeah, I think it came in drippy, but I think it's still at a trade price if I remember right, technically. But I want to say it's tied to like the data leaks, data leaks, or whatever, like the Dr. Dre contract, basically. I want to say it's tied to like one of the missions there or something, I believe. But I don't know where, like, what particular mission in the Dr. Dre contract it would basically be. But like somehow unlocking some supposed trade price in the vehicle. Also, I believe this vehicle actually got a price increase at some point, if I remember right, like it's Red Wars of Drippy or something. I think it was like where they did some like increasing cost stuff and lowering costs that they kind of did, like say if I was in deals in that previous DLCs like Drippy, I'm pretty sure. So I think the vehicle used to be like a cheaper vehicle or something. So the value has kind of increased, I guess, for if you do win in the podium at least. Again, on a trade price, so it's $1.5 million. I think it again has a trade price, and it would probably be like more like $2 million without a trade price or something. Yeah, the Gringer for 600LX, I believe it's technically part of the SUVs class. The thing on the Gringers are basically in the SUVs class, so just want to do different basically. And according to a spreadsheet from roughly 152's vehicle spreadsheet, it is F tier with 29th place lap time and 48th place top speed. And yeah, I think the performance is below average for both hot on top speed, like just barely, especially on the lap time or something. However, though, the top speed. However, yes, the top speed is like way below average, and not, and even it could even get kind of remotely close compared to the lap time even. Alright, but yeah. Amani tech capabilities, by the way, the most important stuff I would say with this vehicle. It is initial contract DLC badge, so it's arguably one of the most feature-rich Amani tech vehicles in the whole entire game. Because as DLCs kind of went on, they get kind of skimpier, like lazier with those, whatever. But yeah, as armor plating. However, though, the thing is, with the initial contract badge, none of the initial batch of 6 of those, whatever, for contract DLC are really electric vehicles, so it doesn't actually have the best armor of any Amani tech vehicle in the game. Yeah, for those that don't know, apparently there's some control tank mechanic with the Amani tech vehicles, if they're electric in particular. Where I believe RPG and Hoy Launcher actually does the same exact damage, where one's no electric, I believe, for the Amani tech vehicles. If it's not an electric Amani tech vehicle, if armor plating, the RPGs will actually out damage the Hoy Launcher. It won't be equal amount of damage like it is on the electric one, so yeah, it's not the greatest Amani tech vehicle for the explosive resistance, so we'll say that. However, it's serviceable enough, especially compared with the lock-on jammer. And in the initial contract DLC badge, basically get the ballistic glass on it, which is 16 pistol rounds, 16 star rounds, etc. Not always 16. For example, I think sniper rifles can do it a little bit quicker. With less bullets required, I believe, on a sniper rifle. Otherwise, you have the purple FMJ rounds, for example, that can just one-shot the bullets in the glass. Anyways, if it's on a 1-2 weapon with the purple rounds, basically. And the initial contract DLC batch, it does up front about the machine guns, and being an SCV is giving higher up placement too, which actually works better for those guns than a lower placed one, for example. With the champion supercar, that was also initial contract DLC batch, for example. It's one of those that wouldn't have the guns in a very good placement. And yeah, there's the one mine type, but the slip line is the only mine type you can use for Amani tech vehicles. And then, yeah. Yes, there is also a missile lock-on jammer or remote control unit if you can do one of them at a single time. Being SCV and being kind of a long one, I probably would definitely say the missile lock-on jammer. But you can also very much use it as a remote control personal vehicle with the remote control unit instead. And being an initial contract DLC batch means it actually has a front machine guns you can actually use basically use it as a remote control vehicle to say driving the character essentially though. Zero could use either missile lock and shimmer or patrol unit. They both have some good purpose for the vehicle. But I think being an SUV class vehicle definitely edges more towards missile lock and chamber from what I would basically be using on the vehicle. Yeah, it is also worth noting, by the way, it is also worth noting, by the way, it is an 8-seater vehicle. And it might be the highest seat capacity for any mine tech vehicle, which could have its niche purpose or use or something for all I know. For all I know. But 8-0 from missile lock and jammer could definitely be interesting, I would say for sure. I'm not sure for sure that I would say it again if I did say it like before, really, because I'm tired. Of course though, of course though.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, come on, Ron. Quit calling me. Bowman. Well, I was tired and shit. Accepted the call and stuff, but honestly, just a day one phone call, because I don't think Kinger has any business creates. I think about it, like right now. I believe so, but I still believe so. Now over to the card meet. So I'm getting pretty tired. I might skip on details for like stuff because I assume they're on discount. The dealership vehicles might literally be discount vehicles. I probably already talked about them. It's anything like the previous events for the Kortz Center Heist DLC, basically. Yeah, I don't really care this. He's doing Vigilante, by the way, the Kortz Center Heist finale, and this video basically. Yeah, Madrasa hits can be kind of early from the complete, especially if you do like every single day, but yeah. I don't really care too ever since the initial update came out, it's something most exciting to me. But yeah, if you were to just do like lock on missile like around the area and found a target, I'll basically mark the targets up and like follow the text message and like look for somebody or something, I think boom.
What? I would scoop some bitches in that ride.
What's in Reaver? Yeah, I think I definitely remember going over that last stream. So you have to be a modern and then also communist too. Again, because I had time to go over the week 2 stuff the last time, so technically are one over these. So I might have people just actually refer to my previous stream if you want details on what's in Reaver. Think of Vito Modern, as well as the people that are communist to the regular, not the like top was the one, obviously. AK to Caro, whatever, it's not that one, obviously it's the tuner update. Tuners, you'll see when it's actually classed as a tuner, because our one is actually not classed as a tuner for the, or yes, our one very much is not classed as a tuner, like subclass, whatever, no. For the Cabrio, that is, for the Cabrio, but obviously the Cabrio would have been named somewhere else. Bobby's pretty tired, it's Bobby, so of course so. But basically, for a quick version now, basically though, yes, so for a quick version, since I basically covered these in the last stream, basically since I had time to go over the 2 discounts last time. The Western Reaver is actually the best top speed motorcycle in the game. Yes, it even beats the Hawkdog Drag HSW as well. But yes, Western Reaver is a fantastic motorcycle, by the way. Yes, since even beats the HSW on Drag for top speed, since it's like a wheel bug or something. Their wheel was really quick on it or something. So the Western Reaver is something I would say definitely very good. Bit of modern. It's a non-raceable sports car, so you can really use it for general sports car races anyways. And yeah, even if it was like general sports class, it's like a raceable vehicle, it's pretty terrible performance, because I kind of went over that last time, even. And yeah, the Comet S2, I think the thing is the Growler's basically the better of the 2, I believe. But the Comet S2 actually used to have like niche where like in the initial tuners that they could actually do like a lower like stance setup, I believe. With something like the low grip tires or something, and end up giving it like an insane speed or something, if I remember right, but it's since been patched basically, I believe. Like you have the after with I mean yes, you have the after tuners after something like that, I believe. Yeah, there's just better sport tuners, what I call it. Where you have tuners subclass so, tuners subclass so. Alright, and let's try it on the R, but man, I'm getting really tired. I'm gonna have to take a big break actually now. So I might kind of be right on there. Oops. I mean, you touchpad there, but yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. Already in this stream. It's not even an hour and a half or something like that. Or like 2 hours more so. Just I'm gonna take a cape break, I think. Try to get back up to speed, but not being tired. Don't know if that was actually fixed my... yes, don't know if that was actually fixed my sleep situation or not. Slides and whatever. Whatever, though. But again, these I covered last week, I'm pretty sure, because that's on week 2 discounts and week 1 stream for the 2-part like event, whatever. So yeah, as a reminder, it's been a while. Western Reaver is actually best top speed motorcycle, even on the newest versions of the game, even beating the HSW Hotdog Drag. If you say yes, it does. Yes, it does. In fact, beat the HSW Hotdog Drag for Tox. For yes, the top speed though. Cause yeah, this thing has like a rear wheel bug. I think where the rear wheel makes it even go quicker than the HSW Hotdog Drag for like the top speed or something. It's on all platforms. It's actually the best top speed motorcycle, by the way. I might not be as clear about it in every way last time. That's what it's like actually, or something. Again, one of 4 non-raceable sports cars, but even if it was raceable, it's pretty much one of the worst of the class. It's only real good for like go-kart racing or something, basically. Yeah, Heist 2 is tuner subclass, so it means you can use it for street pursuit races, robbery contracts. And as for street pursuit races, it might not be too horrible there, but also I believe the like P-Fist or Growler, I think it's just better, I believe. And yeah, this one had like a lowered stance like setup, if I remember right, back in the initial release of the DLC. Yeah, I'm talking about like obviously when tuners came out before like contract DLC came out. I think there was like a set of like lowered stance or whatever that made it insane for top speed, but you cannot really do that anymore, unfortunately. And yeah, you might as well just use Ferrari contracts anywhere really, since that's where it will basically be most useful, I suppose. Especially yes, if it has like rear louvers in the back. You can fly on that like back window to protect from like gunshots or something to be flying up for rival contracts. But yeah, the actual sports performance isn't really ever that good for like sport tuners. I think sport tuners are only ever really good in the actual tuners of class, not the main sports class, unfortunately, performance-wise. But anyways, sorry about that. I did actually go in more detail on those, kind of, which I was happy about, I'm sure. But now, finally, to go over the Processor Challenge after being tired for a while. Wait, you have to do the Street Race series? Huh? Interesting. I feel they usually just straight up do LS Car Meet series, but apparently there's one you have to do Street Race series for, apparently. We have to place top 3 for 2 days in a row. Top 3, can't you technically, since they're like 2-player race types, can't you technically do 2 and 3 players for guaranteed entry for the challenge? I believe so. I feel it's unusual when they force like a certain type of series, and it's not just straight up like Hollis Car Meet series like as a whole or something. So that's interesting. Not something they usually do. Yeah, I assume top 3 means you can do 2 or 3-player races for like street series, and that should give you a guaranteed entry for the challenge, I believe. But it really should be a pretty easy one to complete. You just have to remember to do 2 days in a row is all, which isn't hard to do, basically. Yeah, just remembering like 2 days in a row, which might be the hardest part about the whole thing. It's really hard to do, so it should be a really easy challenge to do if you want. Yeah, regular Paragon R should be in the Ledger Motorsport website. Now back to Warden. Paragon costs $1,597,500, by the way. That'll be more for later, I suppose. There should be 2-door in like Dumpster Resort or something, basically. Would it definitely? Yes, would have definitely been Dumpster Resort. So obviously, you have to where you have to do the casino missions. You got like the armored version. That was mission exclusive, basically. But yeah, so. So yeah, it's a sports car. It's obviously going to be a sports car, by the way, for the Paragon R. Where apparently it is a C tier sports car. At 18th place for lap time and 34th place for top speed. Which is very much above average for the class for both metrics. -6, I think, from 18, of course. 46 H, so it's pretty much puts it at 12th place at best for lap time, which is a couple points missed out of the top 10, which isn't the worst, I suppose, but like also there's just going to be better options. And you know, the thing with the Paragon R is there's even a successor vehicle kind of too as well, the Paragon S or whatever, basically, which is basically just better as well, by the way. But by getting a vehicle, you save like 9 or 5,000, yeah. Not the greatest savings on this vehicle, honestly. I don't believe the civilian one is a trade price or anything, but again, you can earn the armored one just by simply doing like all 6 casino story missions as a host, by the way. As a host, yes, by the way. The vehicle apparently got a missile lock on jammer added to it at some point as well, which is nice. Which is nice. Which means, obviously, if you put that on there, you can not end up getting hit by missiles as easily. It's a quick, kind of somewhat quickish sports car. Yes, it can go alright on this vehicle, but like the armored version is just better, even if they didn't put the like lock-on jammer for that one, basically, arguably, or arguably, but just a little tad. And yes, PFSR Ashton Custom apparently is the HSW Premium Test Ride, apparently. If you're on newer platforms only. Which I think is one of the better one of the like ones for lap time. So like, when yes, it comes to the HSW SUVs of the Bordeaux, it was one of the better couple of the SUV ones, particularly for like a lap time, but not as good as like the Vivid 9 per se. So I don't think it's like top metric like for supposed lap time or top speed between the four like HSWs, but in terms of like the more important metric of the lap time, it's one of the couple better they're able to made. So you kind of might as well get it, especially with no class has more than like 6 in the V7 like HSW vehicles anyways. Yeah, the vehicle list, it's number 10 apparently here. Asking custom HSW available on the Mushroom Motorsport website apparently. Apparently this one's not allowed, which I don't believe is the case obviously, so I believe it is in fact a Mushroom Motorsport vehicle. And yeah, I mentioned it that way because the Sterling GT was vaulted between Sanders and Mercenaries of the Agent Sabotage DLC where it got unvaulted, but they've never exactly altered the listing on the laptop, obviously, to like change it for it, obviously, to make people know it's actually truly available, basically. So yeah, just that oversight is kind of like, that's kind of why I do like to go over that one thing, basically. And you know, like I said, you cannot use like, the weaponized Ignis on the HSW Tundras because it's like the forced weapon on it. Something similar kind of applies to the Stinger TT and the Buffalo EBX. But I think it's tied to the silk lines, which you can technically remove so that you can actually use the vehicles. Basically, though. Yeah, Stinger TT and EVX. Yes, though. Again, not the weaponized sickness restriction if you have the silk lines on. Otherwise, if you do end up removing those silk lines, you should be able to use those though. It's like other previous events for the DLC, luxury autos probably will just have two things on discount. We're at dealership, basically. They're one of the gunman contents technically in the last stream, obviously, for week 1. It's got to basically do everything I wanted the last stream. So I don't really have to go over it again, but I might just flip showing it or something, obviously, and whatnot.
Hey, you're gonna want to see what I picked up this morning.
The unholy outringer, yeah. It was like free or something, if I remember, in week 1 or something like that.
Will not be beaten
But
on
I think it's on like
automatic
some
weapons. That's what
discount,
you
I
want.
believe,
You're
this
in the
time
right
around.
place.
I believe it was some kind of discount this time around.
That was only released a little while ago.
We had a railgun. I think it was actually for both weeks. Railgun's definitely a real good one. You can just rebuild ammo real easily for a cheap $1,000. You do like ammo box, so like bond ammo for the interaction menu. For those that don't know, you can literally do ammo box for $1,000. That just give you all your that. I guess will just give you all your ammo for cheap. For some reason, the ammo box works for it.
Planning on a little short distance work? That one's brand new. Just hit the market.
The combat shotgun, you should again cover like Heist finale, which isn't as worth tuning anymore, of course, especially when it got yet more nerfs in the latest update. So whenever there's not a pair of hatches, obviously not too worth it in a sense. You didn't bother going for it. Just working during a like finale in particular, where you probably just want to be making all your hella money like ASAP anyways, regularly challenge and stuff. But if you don't really care to get the combat shotgun for the like random event or whatever in Heist finale and the scope out, then yeah, just a very good opportunity to get it here.
If I were you, I'd snap that up while the deal's on.
Heavy sniper and pump shotgun are Mark II weapons, which ironically are the two to actually have some explosive ammo to them as well, which makes them really good Mark II weapons. So obviously those are good. And then the knife. Really, aside for delivery stuff on it, you can basically just use it underwater. It's basically kind of
in a good way.
It's really more for weapon collection than anything. Kind of like the combat shotgun in a way, actually, but still no.
Won't find that in ammunition. Ha!
We had a shocker. It's basically the melee stun gun, basically, for the game. Which definitely has its uses for, like, bounty hunting, obviously, for bounties and stuff, for example.
Can't be
And
found
the up and
anywhere but this
atomizer.
van. Guaranteed.
Up and atomizer, yes, so. Yeah, very useful utility weapon for getting vehicles and stuff. It has like airburst projectile thing that basically
That's really real nice.
it has like an airburst projectile thing. Basically, it has like a bunch of ragdoll into it. Basically, that can get vehicles like unstuck for like business sales and all kinds of useful stuff like that. Yeah, Montage is a gun ban exclusive, throwable. Cannot get this ammunition or anything. It's always good when Molotovs show up at the gun ban, since they're the only real place you can like truly buy the Molotov cocktails. I don't have to get it for like a mission or something. Yeah, pipe bomb. Unlike sticky bomb, does not blow up in your hand when it gets shot, basically. So good for drive-by, throwable for sure. Like in contact missions and stuff, at least it's good.
You want to make a bang? That'll do it.
And sticky bombs you can blow up with. Sticky bombs, you guys can blow whenever you want with like left on D-pad. And you can also blow up like the armored truck doors for like the random event or whatever. Opposite
Primers included.
So that's super good utility throwable. And you had the body armor, of course, like usual.
They should probably get out of here soon too.
And yeah, I think that knife is free, by the way, as well. But which I don't think it's as good as the other free weapon. I believe there's one free weapon, like an oil member or something. Could be wrong, I forget from last time, but week 1's passed anyways, so I don't really care to go over that anymore. Oh, is it just two different versions of the scramjet randomly? What the fuck? Cars a scramjet and yeah, the classic scramjet. What the hell? I don't think they've done this before. What the fuck? So I think it's supposed to be something like a Sprunk and an E-Cola, or no? Oh, I see. It's Impotent Rage, I think, and then Princess Robot Bubblegum. The cars are scramjets. Okay, interesting. Just being interesting. That is very interesting, actually. Something a little more expensive. That's tight. It's tight. Yeah, I'm on Team Princess Robot Bubblegum personally. Impotent Rage is kind of gay and kind of hella male as fucking shit. Yeah, Princess Robot Bubblegum is the fucking shit now. That one should win for sure. Hell more brand, Ron Wars going on there. Yeah, Scram's just a really good vehicle though. It's like pretty best like tracking only missiles. But yeah, it's like front mount machine guns that can destroy vehicles in a couple of seconds, I think. But yeah, obviously not explosive guns. Not the greatest for front mount machine guns, obviously though. And he has 30 best tracking only missiles for weaponry. See, the missiles are super accurate, being basically the best accuracy on missiles in the game alongside vehicles like Runner 2000 and stuff. So it has 22 more than Runner 2000, the original vehicle that's tracking all missiles. Actually. And he has rocket boost and jump boost at the exact same time, which I think is the vehicle in that combination of stuff at the same time, basically. So that's unique, but also the point B, like transportation isn't as good as you would think for the scramjet personally. So I feel it's more a vehicle that's around than free move. That one will probably be one used the most for money making, believe it or not. And I was all time on the scramjet, obviously. And it's like previous events, so 5 of them here, all 5 here should be discounts. Oh, well, actually not quite, right? Because the Warden's here as well, which is a new vehicle. But yeah, Desert Raid, I think, is definitely a discount. Brigham's a discount, or no. If a Brigham is a discount, then yeah, maybe. But this is actually Eudora, my bad. Turnus is having a discount, and it's the last one, sure, ETR1, yes. Which again, actually I have to go over absolutely everything for discounts, I think, for week 2 and week 1, so I think I already covered these, so I don't have to cover them in as much detail if I don't want to. But again, the Warden, not entirely sure what the performance would be for that right now, but it would be bought over here. Because yeah, Breath of 1.3.2 is not released testing like video stuff yet for the Galvanter Warden. So yeah, I think it sounds like it might be a couple weeks still until the vehicle gets tested, by the way, for this one. Desert Raid, if I remember right, it's actually slightly out of the top 10 when I went over it for like the last event. If you want more details on the vehicle, then refer to like the last stream I did, basically. It's not this one. The Eudora doesn't really perform good for muscle car class. I think this one you most can just use for like taxi work with the taxi delivery, for example. So unless you're using it for like taxi work, I don't even know if it's the most worthwhile unless you're getting it for like customization versus preference kind of reason stuff. Basically. The Turnus is a really good off-road vehicle, better off-road discount, obviously, in Desert Raid, by the way, And ETR 1 for supercar discount isn't actually all that good, if I remember right. From when I went over it, of course, it's on the last event, since I had a lot of time to where I could cover week 2 stuff as well. But yeah, the ETR 1, I don't really think it's that good. Fortunately. The Brigham, oh no, not the Brigham, but yes, no. The Eudora and the ETR 1 are definitely the 2 worst ones we gain here. Even Desert Raid kind of, in a sense, isn't the greatest anymore for off-road. And there's 2 off-roads in here, you might as well go to Turnus Patrol in particular for off-road. Sides for Turnus and a new Warden, not really the greatest lineup here, I suppose. Oh, any money opportunity stuff I want to go over, if there is. Again, pretty much money opportunities are mostly the same from the first week of the 2-week Grand Round Wars. Again, aside for the weekly challenge and the 5 times money VIP work that was only available between the 21st and 23rd, but since it's the 24th now, obviously it's not relevant anymore. And again, I already covered anything with that small, like, free day, like, weekend event, basically, for the 5 times money VIP work, so I don't really have to go over that anyways. Since I covered it in the last stream. I think it's basically salvage yard and one of it, and you can almost basically you can customize the vehicle, most importantly. Like HSW time trial. Or actually, hold on, I need to. That's right. Something else I actually have to go over first. That I have to cover basically. Changes about a week, but isn't really on the Rockstar News wire, so it would be technically new information to cover. I usually go over that back at Simeon's as well, being money related, so I might go back to that briefly and then come back here. Why not? Might do what I was supposed to be doing in the first place, so game. God, bro. Fucking character, can we drive this thing, please? Come on. Come on, man. Yeah, stuff I be party file was meaning to go over here. Yes, was meaning to go over here. This time it's on the brute force file. If you only do party files and you don't ever do like ones off a party, then it's not necessarily the greatest. Brute force people actually consider to be the worst file, even worse than black box, arguably. People do say, which I kind of get in a sense, since kind of have to go into like a militaristic vehicle thing. Like, you have to keep stealth at a certain amount of time and stuff. Like, for a certain amount of time for, like, one to, like, challenge things. And, which isn't the easiest to keep in a sense. Kind of. There's a way to kind of cheese it, but, yeah. Stealth on this is going to be kind of difficult to keep in a way. To a lot of amount of time you need to keep it for, basically, or distance more so, like, for keeping your stealth, since eventually I think it just gets broken no matter what anyways. So I kind of get why people might consider this one their least favorite, but I like stealth mission things and stuff, so I actually like this one over Black Box. But yeah, it doesn't compare to having priority on, like, Fine Art or Project Breakaway if you only ever do priorities and never do them, like, off priority or whatever. But yes, so. And plus, Event even has, like, even more money, I think, right now as well for party files and even just FIV files, like, in general, I believe. I think it even pays, like, 600-ish-K or something, I think, on priority if you have a subscription as well. Depending on your circumstance, you could technically make some pretty alright money with it. Whatever, no. Yeah, it's definitely party foul, like, regardless, basically.
What's up? Bye.
And then onto the vehicles here. Ironically, again, no loaded door, not just for a discount, but also for a vehicle for the salvage yard for the event. Looks to be standard range vehicle there, mid range vehicle looks to be a Vapid LE. And top range vehicle looks to be the Bravado Buffalo STX. Or yes, top range vehicle. But yes, so. But yeah, loaded door vehicle from like the last Los Santos Drug Wars DLC, pretty sure it was where Taxi War came out and stuff, so it would have been released during that. Says usable vehicle for taxi work and an initial batch of vehicles usable there, technically speaking, continent at least. Muscle car class vehicle, again, also on discount apparently for the event as well. It's apparently part of the gangbanger robbery. And yeah, I don't know what the main plates, by the way, will be for anyways. It's not unclaimable anyways, but it doesn't really overly matter anyways, so. Yes, though. Making murder robberies in one obviously is at the Mission Road police station, by the way, but by the way. And your vehicle here has a max sell value of $255,000. And a salvage value of exactly $204,000. I see. I see. Interesting. Actually, interestingly, all these are muscle cars actually this time. Right now. So yeah, the Vapid Ellie, yet another muscle car. This one was on like something like Dynasty Resort update, I believe, or actually no, I think it was just Seven Sanders Super Sport Series update, whatever like long as DLC like name basically for like spring 2018 basically. Basically. Bit mid-range vehicle even this time around. Apparently though. Part of the cargo ship robbery. Has max sell value $269,000 and then salvage value $215,200. I see. And then finally, last but not least, looks like the top range vehicle for the event here is yet another muscle car, of course, for the Bravado Buffalo STX. The Bravado Buffalo that came out in contract DLC, obviously. And for that one, apparently it's part of the McTony robbery. Yes, the one all the way in like bumfuck Polito Bay, by the way. Oh, and also, by the way, since the Mindtech vehicles actually come with bullet-resistant glass like stock, it actually means you get some bullet protection when you're in the Buffalo STX, by the way, in the mission. So you actually can get some nice bullet protection out of the Buffalo STX, which will make the mission a little bit easier, which is nice. Especially when it's going to be the McTony robbery one for sure, though. It has max sell value of $335,000, it looks like, as well as solid value of $268,000. Interesting. Kind of really like how it's the exact solid value amounts of like a couple hundred at the end or something. Interestingly.
Hi. Hey, ladders.
So yeah, technically it can be done for the most part, aside for like HSW time trial customizing the vehicle at this point, I believe. Simply because, again, a lot of content between week 1 and week... Again, lots of content between like weeks 1 and 2 overlap, basically. be a lot of content overlap. More in week 2, and anything that doesn't, I basically got to cover last. And since I had so much time for covering everything there, and anyways, since what a stream of being like 6-7 hours, I covered both week 1 and week 2, pretty much super extensively. So that's anything I could for week 2 this time. I'm doing basically this time around. So yeah, wait, why am I going with this vehicle? I don't know if I'm going to like where HSW Town Trail is, or what I'm going to do per se right now, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to do after all, actually. Or wait, oh wait, hold on. That's what I was doing. I was going to Simeon's to do the like Warden. That's right. Obviously. What am I saying? Even. So things are still working. Okay, awesome.
How you doing, Oos?
Yeah, let me go over to top of the state. Yes. $6,070,063, it seems. Okay, cool. Yeah, turn off the close GPS there. I'm sick because I'm really actually do that, but whatever. Though.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them around. I'll get there as soon as I can.
We have 18 vehicles. I believe the 2 other vehicles would be technically the career progression of the armored car, and the horse. So I guess the horse is the only vehicle needing recent now, and I'm actually done right, apparently. There wasn't really a horrible, like, a lot of amateur feet at all in this DLC, to be fair, but still, no. But again, to be fair, there's not a lot to repeat in this update, so kind of not surprised, but also at the same time, like... Also, yes, at the same time, I didn't realize that it was already basically at that point or something. Oh, that's an export vehicle there. Fine, then. Fine, then. I guess I'll do that, then. I guess I'll very much be doing that, then. Yes, fuck ass Bobby, but I don't know what the fuck is something where we'll be doing it anymore. Yeah, what the export vehicle is very useful for getting like resources at least. So like obviously the carbon reputation, the 20k basically. Like that is definitely must be it. Is this the Monroe or something? I think it might be the Monroe from day one here. Alright, it is indeed. Interesting. If I remember right, this one actually is pretty good still for top speed, or at least it used to be anyways, for like the longest time actually. Alright, here's the random problem right then. So I'll say there's definitely a ram problem up here, of course, since that's what they kind of do with some parking garages, especially when they want to put a vehicle within it, basically, like an important vehicle or something, basically, Yeah, for the Monroe being a day one vehicle, it's actually held a surprisingly good spot for like a while in top speed for sports classics. I don't actually know if that's still the case. I thought the ones that came out like literally when 2000 Hill was the last update, but still. Yeah, gee, that does actually race some fast, actually. And it's just a stop one way of driving after all. I noticed there's some little bit of like engine upgrade to this thing that could maybe point up on the scenes, but I was just very able to drive, so I'm sure it doesn't like all the engine upgrades, like no matter what, obviously, no matter what, obviously, everyone no matter what stops or anything. You can tell this thing is pretty quick, top speed wise, literally just mostly stock, even I feel I'm driving right now, even not the quickest day one sports classics behind the Z type, at least might be like the quickest day one option for sports classics besides for the Z type. Yeah, even though day one is pretty good top speed for sports classics, pretty enjoyable. $1,090,063 or something on them. Okay, cool. Cool. Of course, I popped the whole side of the head on it, of course, all the rain and shit, man. Ish, man. Well, actually, I mean, oh, well, yes, actually, I mean, God, shitty fuck-ass body for some current. You really managed to make me destroyed on headlights or something. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? God. Could me all the way through with fire. I don't know what this fucking body for something and all this rain and everything. And everything. Anyway, what am I doing? Yeah, I gotta take this inside. I already have it stored here anyways, and there's not to.
coffee.
Hey, Angel. What's bug, bitch? What's bug, bitch? Can imaginary bitch. Sure, we could simulate it, though, if we wanted to. The 100% armor, of course. Of course. Saw the differences in the bricks, basically. Her body work. Pull bars, ladders, snorkels, roof accessories, and roof lights. I see. I see. Again, bull bars, ladders, snorkels, roof accessories, roof lights, makes the fucking spy for current and fucking scores. Yeah, search plus early access. I don't know if I won't be wanting to go over this as much. So whatever. Rainforest, I do like how to rainforest. Has parts at the bottom and it kind of touches the like kind of leads some like the aftermarket bull bars to see, you know. Might as well go for some more secondary car representation and whatnot. Oh yeah, the oldest one on each side. Okay, see, like it's in. And gas on only has on like left side basically. Okay, whatever. Definitely doing that one for the most detail possible. And snorkel. Sun, snorkel, and dual snorkel. Which, by the way, the snorkels. There are snorkels actually in the game that function, so it is worth mentioning on the snorkels. For snorkels, ironically, if I remember right, it's usually the like older vehicles that have snorkels where they actually function, but not the newer ones. Which is kind of the opposite of what's the case of like some like extra headlight stuff not functioning like older vehicles or something versus like newer vehicles they do usually or something. Vehicles from day one in the game could be already with a snorkel or something usually. We don't usually have DLC vehicles like that per se though. But yes. So like something like the Dune Loader and the Mirror over Maze, I think from day one the game have like snorkels on them. It's like stock things already on them, like not for modification, and I think therefore the snorkels do function. However, in this game, seems any snorkels are actually added for like modification do not function properly, and it's only the ones that already start with like snorkels on them where the snorkel stuff actually functions correctly, basically, or like as it should, basically. So from my understanding, if it's a modification, it will not function. Like in this case, it probably will not function. But I'll kind of demonstrate just in case. And if it's already built onto the vehicle without even having to modify it, then it's a snorkel and it should function. Especially if it's on like a day one vehicle of the game for like 2013 or something. To explain the snorkels, basically. And yeah, snorkels, when they do function, like you go into like deeper water and like be in water for like a bit longer. It does not like you submerge the whole vehicle though. Obviously, though. And roof accessories. Non-black roof rack, chrome roof rack. It goes higher for chrome one for some reason, and kind of quite a different looking one. Street roof rack. It's kind of similar to the black, but it actually is like some stuff above or something. Aftermarket street roof rack. Kind of a flat one again, but maybe smaller than the other one. Even like the black one. And then roof tent. Even decorates off the yes, it even decorates off the livery. It seems so. I very much will take that. I need a roof lights. None. Light bar. Lights. Real light. Oh, cool. Has Warden like lighted up around school, and then Warden roof light. Yeah, it does look pretty sleek. I feel or something. New. Hell yeah, I'll take that shit for sure. For sure. It's upgradable 4, not quite enough to even get it all the way to top acceleration. Let's see though. Sauce. Stock, aftermarket, performance. The double version of that? Just basically, maybe. Tingular exhaust. Square exhaust. And hexagon. Interesting shape and burn for sure. And so I know what happened. Probably around Indian too, and probably there, but whatever, no. 13 hit options, 12 really, I guess that's for stock, but whatever, no. Whatever, no. Honestly, car on hood is like the one I kind of don't really care to have a car on, I feel. But I just usually do bomb options anyways. Like, what the fuck? I might as well just do it, I guess. I guess. If I do it on almost everything else, I personally when I can grow used to it or something. Not like it. I won't be sitting in my garage after customizing stuff anyways for like a stream though, to be fair, but unless the performance on it's actually real good, but from what I hear it's not per se. And plus obviously I wasn't going to be with it. No HSW of course, it's Kortz. Don't know which one I should put on there since this information's not out there yet, but whatever. Whatever. It's kind of the only like Galventer that's not a baller, which can be kind of sad trombone material, honestly. So I'm just going to do that, I guess. Screw it. It's like the reject stepchild or something, like being a baller like all the others or something. I don't know for a Galventer vehicle now. Use that as an excuse to do this sad trombone then. Why not? I think the car headlights sounds like the car me now. Right now. I'll see that though for now though. So I'll decide to color more when the build's more figured out later. Liberty. Boat already had the dead skull on it, apparently. There's none, white stripe. And there's some black stripe stuff, or like black parts going on in scenes, even. I think from what I can tell, yeah. Like on the roof and like hood even, I think, faint. Double white stripe, kind of some like gray stuff going on it too, even. There's something. Sprunk? The heck? Is there anything even on the Sprunk one here? Like, what the heck? Am I going crazy, or is like the game not loading anything for a Sprunk livery on it or something? I don't really see what's changing with that one, honestly. Weird. 155 racer with like Warden, 155, like some orange striping, fix a big 155 on the hood, which like white, 5 even on the spare tire thing. Well, even his exhaust gets colored on that one, it seems too. That's it. I don't know, that's usually the case for liveries, but even the exhaust seems to get colored from it. Interesting. And yeah, like the white thing that I had delivery on earlier actually turns white too. And after that, metaphoric. Like this one, like driver passenger door. And like Warden with like white basically. And so like white, like by the spare and stuff. I see. Alright, XX, double adventure apparently. Like on the side, like the hood, stuff on whatever there, whatever there. Maybe something that this snorkel's covering up, unfortunately, and I cannot really tell. Whatever though. Got two normal size X's on like the main doors as we see, with like a couple after that getting smaller, basically. You got like an X on the spare.